Views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation or Stewart Title. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Napick from Stewart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
And welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, another radio adventure. So glad you tuned in. This is where America tunes in to hear interesting things about the home, real estate in Houston, Texas, sometimes beyond. And oh yeah, today we're going to talk about roofing. Every home should have a roof that's in proper order. Indeed they should. As always, we're brought to you by Stewart Insurance and Risk Management and their president, Tom Carpentier, leading the company in a magnificent way 24/7. Our first guest, we're going to talk about real estate. We have Gina Devers. Her tagline is Devers Delivers. Gina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for having me.
In fact, let's tell people again about your company in case this is the first time they're hearing you.
Oh, great. Devers Delivers. I've been in the business a little over 30 years, and I've been in Houston since 2006. Grateful I got here just a little bit too late. Love the city. So much here, so many different types of real estate, and I work multiple different areas and multiple different markets, both residential, investment, multifamily, just about anything.
It sounds like everything. In fact, Gina, on your card it says, buy smart, get more, let Devers deliver for you. And let's get your perspective right now of the marketplace in Houston with real estate in these various markets.
It's actually just booming. Between last month and this, the best market, the most advanced right now, 28%, I believe, increase between last month and this was the luxury market, 750 and above, which is quite a jump. We've had a little bit of movement with jobs here in the city. Some things moving around, some people getting some layoffs, but the luxury, that goes to show you we still have a lot of foreign nationals coming in. We still have a lot of the executives coming into town, a little bit of movement with the Exxon execs. So that still tells you one of the largest cities, fourth largest city, is still bringing all of those top people in.
And that's right, because we did hear a while back that the luxury market, the $1 million homes, had a slowdown period, but you're saying that's ramping up, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to get my $1 million out of the bank
Let's
and then let's go real estate shopping, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? I know a good agent.
I bet you do. Also, let's tell people, Gina, your website as we move along.
Yes, Devers Delivers.
I knew you were going to say that.
Absolutely.
DeversDelivers.com, right?
Absolutely. Or if you want to get snappy, there's DivaDelivers.com.
You're covering both ends of the spectrum. Also, let's tell people, as the buyers are out there, seller buyers and sellers, from a buyer standpoint, what do you recommend when someone, before they're ready for their real estate adventure, to start looking around at homes? What do you recommend for them to be prepared, buyers?
First, before you start looking at anything, get pre-qualified. I know that sounds silly and everybody wants to get out there and start looking at homes. Trust me, before you do, please get pre-qualified. If you don't have your budget right off the bat, you'll go out and you'll find something, you'll fall in love with it. Here's the problem. 1, you can't put an offer without a pre-qualification letter. 2, you don't know what you qualify for. So once you find it and then you find out that's not in your budget, you're going to be heartbroken. It's very, very emotional process. And then when you find your budget, nothing will ever match up to what you already fell in love with. So on the front side, get prepared, go through the steps, learn everything you have to do. So when you go to put that offer in, you're ready and there's nothing going to stand in your way.
Be prepared. That is the motto of the United States Coast Guard, by the way. They say semper paratus, always ready.
Absolutely.
But we must be prepared. There's no question about it. So let's say I'm a seller. What should I do to prepare to sell my home?
Oh, great question.
I bet you're going to say declutter.
Well,
somewhere that comes
that
up.
is, but also be prepared. I tell all of my sellers before we put the property on the market, let's find out what's wrong with it. Let's find out what we need to do to get it in that perfect selling order. I always ask them to go ahead and do an inspection. A lot of them say, well, why do I do that? That's the buyer's job. Let's get all of the stuff that we know needs to be done first. Let's get the highest dollar for your property. Let's find out everything that's wrong. It's power in negotiation. You already know what's there. You already know what you're going to come down, what you will do, what you won't do. Let's get that done first.
In fact, it just makes sense to know what's wrong with your property before someone else does, because we live in our homes sometimes. I think I'm in my home almost 13 years. And yeah, I have a critical eye. I look around, but I'm there every day. There's a lot of things that I don't see, as we're going to talk about roofs later. You don't see what's on top of your home because you typically don't go up there. However, know before they do, so that helps put you in a better negotiating position too.
Absolutely.
In fact, negotiation, that's a pretty big part of the real estate transaction.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Tell people about your perspective on negotiation. How do you help your buyers and sellers when it comes to negotiating the real estate transaction?
Ooh, a lot goes into that. You're looking at multiple different valuations on a home. You not only have, market value, but you also have the appraised value, the lending value, the HCAD value. All of these things go into making what the bank is going to lend, and that's basically the most important part. So also, I look at, if I'm the seller, I'll also say, let's get an outside appraisal, because then you know what you're going to actually be able to get a buyer to have lending on. As the buyer, what we want to do is look at everything that's obviously sold around it, but also look at the important things. What are the risks in the neighborhood? Has everything else or anything else flooded? With the amount of floods that we've had, big issue is flood insurance, which will increase your house payment. So let's look at that. That might kick your house payment up another $200. If someone's on a budget, we've got to look at all the factors. In
fact, on flooding, now on the seller's disclosure, they have to say if there's been water penetration or flooding, right?
They're supposed to, yes.
So you're saying sometimes they forget.
They do. They'll get it rehabbed.
I forget that I had to get the carpet and this and that and the other thing, right?
They'll get it rehabbed and not necessarily let you know.
Also, the other thing, going back to the buyers, we talk about being pre-qualified. Let's say it's a cash buyer. I would also say some of the things that as people may have the cash to buy, and I think that's a great way to buy property, that they better get their funds in order, because that liquid cash can come from a variety of places. It could be from your American Express personal savings. It could be selling a couple stocks or whatever.
Absolutely. And I also deal with a lot of foreign nationals. They do not like our banking system. They don't like all the questions. And when they're coming here, they'll transfer large sums of money. As you know, it has to be seasoned funds. So we talk to the banks about that. And when I have a large sum coming in, what I'll do is I'll talk to the title company that you have good relationships with, as, for example,
like
you.
A Stewart title.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And I'll let them know we've got somebody coming in, and we'll go ahead and deposit that in an escrow account with that person's name, so the money is already seasoned. We know where it's coming from. We don't have a GF number, but we can have it tagged as a sale. And
of course, going back to that cash offer, that's always a great thing.
Absolutely.
And that puts you in a better bargaining position, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Cash is king. I love the cash. Also, Gina, say with the last minute or so in this segment, what else would you like people to know about your company?
Ooh, well, my company is more of a concierge type of real estate service. We not only go and look for buying and selling, but we also help you with everything else around that process. If you're looking for someone to help put in a new pool or a sprinkler system or whatever, anything that is around the process of buying or selling a home, we're here to help you make it as easy as possible, make that transition easy.
And people don't realize, I say it all the time on this radio show, the real estate professional has to be so many things. We're talking about negotiating, knowing the right people to get the job done, inspections, insurance, all these things. I don't know how you do it. Gina, let's tell people how they can reach you.
Absolutely. My website again is Devers Delivers, and You can also my
Beavers delivers. They can't forget that.
Absolutely. Or my cell number is 832-588-7251.
And give Gina a call at 832-588-7251. You're listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I am your host, Bill Napick. We're going to come right back with even more. Stay with us.
I sail an ocean, unsettled ocean, through restful waters and deep commotion, often frightened, unenlightened. Sail on, sail on, sailor.
Stuart Title has been serving Texas for over 120 years. A Texas treasure, Stuart Title's longevity is a testimony to superior service, innovation, and knowing what their customers want. Recent surveys show that 92% of respondents want secure online tracking tools to help them during the closing process. Stuart Title offers the most robust and secure system to track transactions online available today. To learn more, contact Stuart Title at one of their many offices around the city. Stuart Title, online at Stuart.com. That's STEWART.com.
And we are back. More real estate talk. And now we have another realtor. He is the broker owner of a company called Turbo Realty, Chris Schilling. Chris, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's great. Now, here we are, Turbo Realty. Let's just tell people, in case they have not heard of Turbo Realty, tell us about your company.
Sure. I'm the broker. I've been around for a long time, about 20 years. Turbo Realty's been in existence about 6. We're turbo fast and hassle-free. I'm a broker in California, Colorado, Texas, Florida, and Georgia.
That's a lot. Turbo.
A lot of tests.
A lot. You're fast and on time all the time.
Turbo fast and hassle-free.
I love that. Turbo fast. So let's tell people, first of all, in Houston, we talk about market and the perspective. Give us a word on that, and then we're going to also want to hear about these other cities and other states because we'd love to know what's going on around us.
Sure.
So first of all, Houston, Chris.
Well, so, the old saying, April showers bring May flowers. I mean, May was a fabulous month. The market's up. Consumer confidence seems to be coming back. So lots of things are moving. So we're seeing lots of properties move. Interest rates are starting to go up. They're talking about it going up another 2 to 3 times this year, which is compelling people to get off a dime and go ahead and make the move to purchase a house.
That's right. One of the things I heard just recently this week, over the weekend, from 2 people, they're saying, I'm so tired of driving far in. The traffic is getting worse. I'm thinking of moving in. So I think as people have been coming to Houston in droves and on a regular basis, that people are moving in because traffic is just getting worse and worse.
Well, so you move where you can afford. I mean, that's the real trick.
That's
Everyone
thing.
says location, 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 but it's really not true. What it is it's a subset of price. It's what's the best location on the price that you can afford. And so people will choose the best location with the shortest distance to work that they can afford. So if you look at the market that's that 180 to 250,000 that most of us can live within, the average days on market since January 1 is 27 days on market. That houses just don't last. We're in multiple bid situations on homes that are in that 200, 250 range where you'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 bids on a home. So if a home's still out there and hasn't been sold, it's most likely overpriced.
And price, and I like what you said. That's right. People buy where they can afford and what's close to not just work, but their other activities. When you talk about multiple offers, I happened to be in Katy the other day, and I saw a sign, and the home was beautiful, and the sign had the sale sign on it, but it had on it, it's the first time I've seen this, it said multiple offers, contract pending. To me, that was saying, okay, we don't go away, but we sold this home. That was cool to see that.
Well, we're seeing more and more of that. It's interesting. We don't see that as much with new construction, obviously, because they continue to build more and more homes. The further and further you get out, but the closer you get in, the more desirable it is. The less inventory that there is, it's more difficult to find a house that makes sense.
And when I'm thinking about that, if I were selling my home, and I think that's what people would want as the seller, I would want multiple offers so I have a choice so I can get on to my next home and get the deal done. What would you recommend to a seller, or if you were selling your own home, what would you do to make it as attractive as possible so you get those multiple offers?
Well, it all starts with price. I mean, so it has to have a good price. The second thing is it has to have great photos. So if your agent's not getting great photos, that's going to cause a problem because the first place that people look is on the internet. I mean, it's amazing. Not only the parents looking, but the children are looking for houses on the internet. And so they've already previewed the home before they ever get there. So first you got to get them through the door, and you get them through the door with price, and you get them through the door with great photos. And if you're in a competitive situation where you have multiple bids, then you have to evaluate based on what the bids look like. You know, are they paying full cash? You know, are they financing? What percentage of it are they financing? So there's a lot that goes into trying to decipher which is the best offer to accept. It's a great problem to be in. So the trick is that you got to price it right.
You have to make your property attractive and treat it like it is a product, because it is. It's been the home you lived in. However, you make it to where it is attractive to the next person coming down the road.
That's absolutely. Well, it's interesting. We'll have lots of agents will say, oh, well, you don't need to paint it, or you don't need to put in the new carpet, or you don't need to fix this, or you don't need to put on a new roof. But the reality is that if you take your problems and then you're telling the buyer, hey, I've got all these problems, but I'm going to go ahead and hand these problems to you, there's a cost, a hassle cost.
Of course.
So if the roof costs $12,000-$15,000 and you're going to make me pull that out of my back pocket, pay for the roof, finance it, and then go through the experience,
right.
There's a value to my time. And so not only will you eliminate some buyers, so like my wife does not want problems. She wants it done. She doesn't want the hassle. That's going to cost you if you put that on her vis-a-vis me.
People want it ready to go.
Ready to go.
And that's one of the attractive things. Let's say you do have the new flooring or new roof or something like that. That is a sales feature when someone else is looking at the property. And not only when they're looking at your property, I guarantee you they're looking at several properties, so you want to stand out in a good way of the crowd.
Yes. The trick is that, you know, don't overdo it. I mean, the reality is that so many of the things that you're going to improve on the house, you're not going to get 100% back. It's kind of like buying a new car, you know, or a used car. You expect it to have tires. So if you go put on new tires on the car, you're not going to get the full value of the tires whenever you go to trade it in. It's the same thing with the house. So you just have to be smart about what things, the improvements that you're going to do, they're going to have value to the consumer. The amazing thing is the best return, like the single best return, is fix the front door. Go ahead and stand it and stain it. It's the first impression. While the agent's fiddling with the keys, they're there looking at the door for 4 or 5 minutes, and it's the very first impression. And
that is a good point.
For the cost of stain, you know, it's a huge impression, and you can get a lot of money back from that. But most of the things you're only going to get 50, 60 cents on the dollar maybe. So you have to be very selective with what things you're going to do.
And Chris, let's tell people your website.
Sure. So TurboRealty.com.
TurboRealty.com. Also, you mentioned the other markets you're in. We always like to know what's going on real estate-wise. Give us a word on some of these other places that you have your license.
Yeah, so all the other markets that we play in, so Dallas, Denver, some of the other markets, everything's dependent on jobs. And so Houston, by far, is the best market that's out there. That's where most of our revenue is generated, is here in Houston. And it's because we've got really the trifecta. We've got medical, we've got the Port of Houston, and we've got oil and gas, which is doing really well. So with oil above 50, rigs are going up. There's just lots and lots of activity, which is giving consumer confidence, which is bringing folks to buy houses. So, in fact, I got a call this morning. We have more folks that are relocating to Houston. So it's back to the days where we're seeing lots of different license plates on the back of cars. We're seeing different folks that are coming here, so we welcome them to Houston.
And generally speaking, say the Dallas market right now, how are they doing up there in Dallas?
So it's a good market. I mean, Dallas still is a solid market because of the number of Fortune 500 companies that call Dallas home. It's one of the better markets in the United States, and the same with Denver. So when we take a look at what's going on in the world, we look at the 42 cities that are across the country that have major league sports franchises, and so that's how we're trying to evaluate where it is that we're going to take our business and our model to. And so we pick the ones that are the strongest currently, and that's Dallas, and that's Denver, again, back to the oil and gas business and just the desirability of living there. It's like Austin with mountains. You have to have at least one tattoo and 2 dogs to live in Denver, and it's fabulous living there.
I have the 2 dogs. So
then you can get a driver's license. You can live in Denver.
And also, I know you help people as far as renting. People that rent, there's a lot of them. There's a section of that rental market where people really should buy, or they don't realize they're able to buy. Tell us a word on that before we close the segment.
So many people come to Houston and they rent because they don't know where it is that they're going to live because our city's so big.
Spread out.
It's spread out. You can drive for 60 miles an hour for an hour and you're not out of Houston. So they rent for a year to 2, and then they matriculate and they figure out where they're going to buy, and then they purchase. And so we have a whole business model, 713 Rent, where we rent and help folks buy those houses on the other side of renting.
Very nice, Chris. And for people to reach out to you, give them the coordinates, please.
Sure. So just turborealty.com, or you can call me on my cell, 832-607-8073.
Very nice, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Schilling with Turbo Realty. And we're coming right back. Thank you so much, Chris. Stay with us. We're coming back with even more.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
Stewart Title has been serving Texas for over 120 years. A Texas treasure, Stewart Title's longevity is a testimony to superior service, innovation, and knowing what their customers want. Recent surveys show that 92% of respondents want secure online tracking tools to help them during the closing process. Stewart Title offers the most robust and secure system to track transactions online available today. To learn more, contact Stewart Title at one of their many offices around the city. Stewart Title, online at stewart.com. That's STEWART.com.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, your host, Bill Nampick. And now we're going to talk about roofing. So important. We have to have a nice roof over our head. The company is Braun's Roofing. We have Skeeter Braun and Scott Alexander on the show. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Hello, Bill. Thanks for having us.
Very nice to see you guys. First of all, Skeeter, Braun's Roofing. You guys have been around for a while. Tell us how long and tell us a little bit about your company.
Yes, sir. I'm a Texas A&M graduate. I started in 1987. We've been around 30 years. A lot of the roofs we're doing now are roofs we did 10, 15 years ago. We do roofing, siding, and exterior repairs. We give free estimates, so give us a call.
Indeed. It's so good, too. The other thing about with the roof, it's good to know we deal with companies, even like Stewart Title. We've been around 125 years. So it's great to deal with companies that you know they're going to be around if you're going to have a problem. And the roof, I think to many people, the roof is kind of mysterious because there's so many components to it, and we worry about water getting in the homes. So first of all, tell us a little bit about how much of your work is, say, new roofs, because you're putting new roofs on all the time, but you also help people with repairs, too.
Sure. It varies. Some people just need a repair job. Some people need a whole new roof. It just depends on their circumstances, the age of the roof. Might have some storm damage, hail, hurricane type of weather come in, and that might expedite things a little bit quicker. So best time to call us, though, is when it's not raining, okay? When it is raining, sometimes it's too late. So
No
anyway.
question about that. Also, how often, and then maybe a general question, when someone gets a new roof, let's say it's a really one of the top shingles, or at least the higher grade shingle, how long should we expect a roof to even last?
Typically about 15 years.
Okay, so 15 years. So if we get 15 years, maybe 20 years out of a roof, we're doing pretty good.
You're doing good.
And we're talking about a shingle roof, right?
A shingle roof. Okay, the flat roof, a little bit less than that. But it also has to do a lot with the weather conditions.
Indeed. Now, Scott, let's tell people what you do for the company.
Thanks, Bill. I am a senior project manager at Braun's. I pretty much coordinate all roofing jobs and all types of jobs from steep slope to slow slope and also on flat roofs.
Indeed. Now, also, you're the first person I met from Braun's Roofing. You came out to look at my roof, and you really did a nice job, you and the team, when the job finally got in progress. And I know a lot of people, the roof, it's a very messy process to remove the old roof and put things on. But I must say, you guys did a very nice job. You ran a clean job, and it looked like the guys really had it down.
Well, most people, Bill, the one thing they notice about roofing is how clean the job is run. We typically have 2 or 3 guys that are actually shingling the whole time, and we also have 1 or 2 guys that are specifically there to clean up and make sure we have material run in a timely manner.
And what I found is that cleanup, it has to be something that's ongoing because nails are all over the place, and we have to really watch we don't get those nails in our cars. Your guys did a nice job with that.
Well, it's very important. The nails are the number one problem we usually have. So we try to take a lot of care in keeping that from happening. Sometimes, though, nails do shoot off, and we use a magnetic sweeper to come around and make sure we clean up the yard, driveway, flower beds, and so forth.
And the other thing, as roofer Skeeter, let me ask you this. It seems like you have so many challenges. You're dealing with heights, but the other thing that happens, you mentioned about rain. When you schedule jobs, it seems you're probably one of these guys that's always looking at the weather.
Sure, we are. We always try to keep that into focus. You have a lot of weather apps on the phone, so that helps us these days. But you have to take that in consideration. You take a year like 2011, where we were way behind in rainfall and there was a drought. It became very, very slow for us. However, when it does rain, and it rains a lot, and flooding occurs, people typically, are calling us because they have a leak and they want service right away. Sometimes we get backed up and backlogged because you have so much, backlog. People calling and wanting something done right.
Everybody
away.
wants it at the same time. Sometimes that's
Yes,
how it goes. But let's also talk about leaks because that it can be a problem. And what should someone do when they see? I guess the way they find out, certainly the dramatic thing would be to see water coming, dripping through the ceiling or something. But also, we could also see like a slow seepage, and all of a sudden we're looking up at our ceiling, and it's like, oh, I didn't notice that. There must be a leak. So, what should people do? And where do these leaks? Is there one place they generally come from? Is it the flashing, or what?
Well, it just depends, okay? Typically, you're only going to get certain types of leaks when you have severe weather, lots of rain, wind, that creates a leak like that may only happen once or twice a year, okay? Sure, you need to evaluate it, call us, okay? We're open Monday through Saturday. It's best not to call during the middle of the night and leave us a recording. Wait till 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning and give us a ring, and we'll get you on the list and get there as fast as we can.
And how long does it take to determine the cause of the leak from your educated eye?
Typically, once you get up there and evaluate it, anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. Sometimes you have to get in the attic. Sometimes you have to get, crawl and look around. Sometimes we may even do a water test, take a water hose up there and see if we can determine where the water's coming from.
And also, Scott, give us an idea. What is it that you love about this profession? I know you've been in this for a while. Here you are in the roofing world helping people all the time. What is it that gets you excited every day to go to work?
The main thing I like is the freedom of making my own schedule, meeting with different people every day. The one good thing about this business is I do have repeat customers. I've been in it for 20 years in Houston, and I'm starting to develop relationships where I'm doing multiple houses for people, a lot of commercial work as well. And the freedom of getting out there and estimating a job, still trying to find out what the problem is, finding out where the leak goes. I enjoy doing that type of work. And then I also enjoy scheduling everything with my crew members and providing a great service for the homeowner.
And when you look at a roof, sometimes I bet it may not be a leak that's occurring or something like that, but you have someone that's maybe a conscientious homeowner that goes down the checklist periodically to make sure the home's in the right situation in case they want to sell it or something like that. But they may call and just say, hey, look, I don't know when this roof was put on, but do I need a new roof? Can you generally tell and say, hey, yeah, you got about 2 years left, or you better put one on right now? How do you do that?
I get calls every now and then from people who are wanting to sell their house or even buy their home. We offer a inspection of the home that lets them know how their vents are, their flashing is, their siding, their windows. We can give them an assessment of what it's going to cost to get into a good selling order or buying order. A lot of times, if we come out there ahead of time, like Skeeter was saying, before it rains, we can take care of all that information before you get to the point where you have to sell the house.
That's right. So let's go back to the point. Let's say someone's buying a home and they're looking at 2 homes and they're older roofs, but maybe they don't need one, but they can call you and say, hey, would you guys take a look at this? I'm thinking about buying this home. You can give them your opinion.
Absolutely, we can.
In fact, one of the things that impressed me, Scott and Skeeter, is that you stand behind your work. That's so important, especially with something as important as our home and our roof. Now, I recently got a roof, as I said, from your company, and one of the things that excited me is that now I may stay in my home for the duration. I don't know how long I'll be there, but I do know this. I can sell, if I sell the home, that warranty will still stand and I could transfer it to the next person.
Yes, our warranties are transferable, along with most manufacturers of the products are transferable also.
So it's like a team effort on the
exactly
warranty.
right. But, we do recommend everybody get up on their roof at least twice a year, okay, to make sure there's no dead bodies or skeletons laying up there one way or
Animals or
the
something,
other.
yeah. All kinds of
And then have us check it out maybe every 4 or 5 years just to do a little general maintenance tune-up on it. That always is money well spent.
And Skeeter, you're in the roofing business all this time. What is it that gets you excited about the roofing world and being up on top and looking at all around the city?
Sure, you can get up there, enjoy it. Like I said, you're not sitting behind a desk all day. Pretty nice days are really enjoyable to be out in. Hot days, rainy days aren't so desirable. But a lot of flexibility. Got to meet and greet and see a lot of different people, meet different individuals, and get to know about them.
I would think
so it's fun.
It's like the real estate transaction. Every roof is, and like a fingerprint, every roof is a little different in terms of condition, style, and all those things. Let's tell people how they can reach out to you, Skeeter.
Sure. Best go to our website, bronzeroofing.com. You're welcome to call the office, 281-480-9900. Like I said, we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we are staffed there Monday through Saturday.
Thank you guys so much. And Scott, if someone wants to reach out to you?
Yes, you can reach me on my cell phone at 832-316-2027.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skeeter Braun with Bronze Roofing and Scott Alexander. Stay with us. There's even more on Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title.
She crawls on sight. Skin is cold, shine white.
If you've been in the real estate industry for any length of time, you know unexpected and costly events can happen. Safeguard yourself against the unexpected with Real Estate Errors and Omissions Insurance, or E&O, through Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Not all E&O insurance policies are created equal. How confident are you that your current E&O policy fully protects you? Stewart Insurance and Risk Management offers expertise in the real estate industry and tailors your coverage to correctly manage your risk. With Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, facing the unexpected just became a lot easier. Safeguard your future with real estate E&O insurance through Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Call today at 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Or email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com to request tailored insurance options for you and your business.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
And welcome to the show, Michelle Steffen with Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Michelle, how are you?
Good. How are you, Bill?
As always, it's great to see you. And boy, let's tell people Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, all kinds of insurance, Stewart.com, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we also have our Facebook page. They could go and visit. We have Twitter, Instagram, several different methods to learn about us and who we are.
And no doubt about it. Stewart.com, front page, personal and commercial insurance, and in the line and category of personal insurance.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most important things is our home, right?
Absolutely. It's the
it's our
biggest
castle.
investment for most people. So when you take the steps towards home ownership, you are taking on potential risks to yourself financially if you're not properly insured. So what we do really is focus on insuring people properly better than everybody else.
That's right. Well, let's tell people some of the basics and things that they should think about when they think about insuring their home.
So you have your dwelling coverage, which covers the structure. You've got your personal property, which is everything inside the home. And then you have your liability. Those are the three pillars, if you will, of homeowners insurance, the three things that you should focus on. Replacement cost is built into that dwelling coverage. And then, again, liability, which covers you in the event you're called into a claimant situation for bodily injury or property damage somebody believes you caused. So, as an example, somebody's injured at your home. Right? It's maybe
there's a party or something, right?
Exactly.
You have a guest over
exactly.
or guests.
And your medical payments will kick in up to $5,000. Typically $5,000 is the standard to protect you against that. Anything in excess of that, then you would go to your liability coverage, which the standard is $300,000 to $500,000.
Well, Michelle, a lot of times people handle their home insurance. Not everyone, but a lot of times they get the renewal bill in the mail, and they just say, okay, it's gone up a little bit this year. They pay it. They go down the road. Really, they should take care and look and also talk to someone that does this every day, like the professionals at Stewart Insurance and Risk Management.
Exactly. And, honestly, Bill, we focus so much on educating the customer. It's kind of one of the pillars of who we are. Again, our agents are all very talented. They know the product, they know the carriers, they know potential risks, and then they can evaluate each customer experience and walk them through it. So the goal is to always be educating and take advantage of opportunities to bring the consumer in and explain something that they didn't know, teach them how they can more properly insure themselves with the products that we offer.
And that is so easily done simply by calling Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, and they can talk to someone, and you can go over the policy with them and the potential policies and coverages they need, right?
Every day.
Let's tell
we do
them
it
how to
every
do
day.
That all day long.
You can reach us at 866-845-4676. Again, 866-845-4676.
And also, let's tell people that at your company, you have a choice of carriers for the insurance, so you're not locked into one particular carrier, so you can actually design the package and tune into their exact needs, right?
Exactly. And that's part of the process with our licensed agents who handle these incoming requests. They will go through extensive questioning to dig down deeper to what the risk is and then find solutions for them. We're an independent insurance agency, which means we work with over 30 different carriers in Texas alone. So we essentially figure out what the risk is and then find a good place for it based on each individual customer need.
And a minute ago, I talked about how people get their renewal notices for whatever kind of insurance in the mail once a year, once every 6 months. And I always think it's a good idea. Don't wait for that renewal, because things throughout the year for your home certainly will change. They could change. And it's probably a good time to, before you get that renewal, to sit down with someone at Stewart Insurance and Risk Management and actually talk about it then and get ready. And if they have to cancel that policy, that's not a big deal.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, we have what we call the Stewart Renewal Review. So we actively work with our customers at each renewal to make sure that if things did change throughout the year, that we're evaluating that at the renewal. If folks want to call, I absolutely encourage it. We'll be more than happy to walk them through that same process. But if you feel like you have evaluated at length at the renewal period, then contact us when your renewal comes up. We're going to be here, and we're happy to do it at their convenience.
Also, you mentioned the term replacement coverage. Let's tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so there's a huge difference between market value, replacement costs, and actual cash value, which is similar to market or appraisal value. Those three things are very different. And when we have new home buyers who are new to purchasing homes, we have to explain it constantly that what it costs to rebuild your home for like, kind, and value is very different from what you would be able to purchase it or sell it for on the market. And then the appraisal value is for tax purposes only. And again, it's usually very different from replacement cost. So when you go through the process of evaluating your coverage, it's so important to get down to the nitty gritty and really make sure that replacement cost is enough. So at claim time, you're not left holding a $50,000 invoice.
Exactly. And I'm thinking about, there are questions, just as we're exploring the basics of home insurance. There are questions that people don't even know to ask, and that's why it's so important to talk to a professional at Stewart Insurance and Risk Management.
Exactly. And again, it's like this in every state, specifically in Texas where we're located. Every policy is so very different that if you don't have a seasoned professional to look at it with you, then chances are you could miss something. And there's so many nuances built into a policy that most people don't even consider.
Indeed. As we talk about dwelling, we talked about home ownership, home insurance, but what about the person that's out there that maybe sold their home in the interim, they're renting, or they didn't buy their first house yet and they're renting? Let's tell people what they can do as they rent properties and or an apartment.
Absolutely. So there's a renter's policy, which is specific to a tenant type risk. So if you're renting a home or an apartment or a condo, even if you're the tenant and there's a landlord, this is going to cover your personal property. Just because the landlord has coverage on the structure does not mean that you're properly covered. So if you have a claim, let's use fire as an example. That's the very first type of peril or cause of loss. If you have a fire loss in an apartment unit and all of your belongings are burned or damaged by smoke, there's absolutely no coverage for that under the landlord's policy. So you would want your own personal contents policy, and that's what a renter's policy is.
Very nice. Also, another thing that comes to mind as we think about people in the real estate profession, they sell their home, they go to the next property, maybe the home is still listed for sale, there are no belongings in the home. So there's a special kind of coverage, right, for that vacant home. And
Definitely.
The standard home policy doesn't cover the home when it's vacant. Tell us a quick word on that before we
Absolutely.
conclude.
So most home policies have a clause that relates to vacant exposure. So if the home has been vacant for over 30 days, which is typical, it becomes an issue at claim time as to whether or not that home was properly protected from that loss. So the market has developed a vacancy policy that gives you back that coverage in the time that the home is vacant. So the most likely claim during vacancy situations are water damage losses, because nobody's there to shut the water off. So just little things like that you may not
Little
consider
things
on
are
a home
big things, aren't they?
Exactly. Little things are big things. So certainly consider that if your home is going to be vacant over 30 days, you need to evaluate the coverage and make sure it's what you need.
Thank you so much, Michelle Steffen, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Thank you, Michelle.
Stewart Title has been serving Texas for over 120 years. A Texas treasure, Stewart Title's longevity is a testimony to superior service, innovation, and knowing what their customers want. Recent surveys show that 92% of respondents want secure online tracking tools to help them during the closing process. Stewart Title offers the most robust and secure system to track transactions online available today. To learn more, contact Stewart Title at one of their many offices around the city. Stewart Title, online at stewart.com. That's STEWART.com.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Your host, Bill Knapp. The show marches on. We have even more for you today. We talk about great companies that have been around for a while. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, of course. Reach out to them for home, auto, all the pillars of insurance, whether it's personal insurance like the home or auto or even umbrella policy, but also commercial insurance. Should you have a business, give them a try. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Just go to Stewart.com. You'll get all the information there. Also, Stewart Title. We talk about companies that have been around. That's right, over 124 years. Stewart Title. We started, many people don't realize, we started right down the road in Galveston, Texas. And right now, we are an international company with about 30 locations in Houston, Texas. We're prepared to be stewards of your real estate transaction wherever you are in Houston and even beyond. In fact, we're even traded on the New York Stock Exchange. The symbol is STC. Stewart Title, we're there to serve you. And if you want to reach out to me at the wonderful City Center location with the swinging palm trees, beautiful views, you don't know if you're in Houston, California, Arizona, reach out to me at Memorial 713-468-8900 City Center. Have a nice lunch while you're there during your real estate transaction. 713-468-8900. And now, let's bring everybody back and talk about whatever else we have. She is back. Gina Devers, DeversDelivers.com. Gina, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've been to that City Center location. It's wonderful, isn't
Love it. Love it. Great. You can have a wonderful lunch, get a couple things picked up. You can also go do a little shopping and still see you.
That is correct. So we encourage people to do that. Gina, what else should people know about your company and what you're doing in real estate?
One big thing is I do a lot of charity events. Part of what I think is really important is always give back.
Charity events. So you're going to buy me lunch? I'm just
I
kidding.
am. One thing that's coming up, I don't have all the details. Hopefully I'll be able to shoot that over to you a little bit later. We are going to be doing a very large charity auction for not only our vets, the people that are out, but our military folks that are still in that need some help and assistance, and their families that are still back here. We're going to be doing the auction out at Cane Island, and I will give you all the updates, but I really want everybody to know part of what we do is also giving back to the community, not just bringing new people in and getting them a home, but also giving back.
Very nice. We love the people over at Cane Island. Dan Nape, it's a great development. Cane Island, not only that, down in Pearland, Meridiana, Texas.
Yes.
So they're really doing some beautiful work there at Rise Communities with Dan Nafe leading the charge there at Cane Island. Well, Gina, let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. My cell, you can contact me directly at 832-588-7251. You can get me on Facebook at Devers Delivers or Gina Devers. Twitter, always there, or my webpage, DeversDelivers.com.
You are everywhere. Again, 832-588-7251. Gina, thank you for being on the show. And now we're going to hear from the one and only Chris Schilling with Turbo Realty. I forgot the tagline, but I bet Chris is going to remind me right now. Something about Turbo.
Turbo fast and hassle-free.
I love the hassle-free
You
part,
bet.
Chris.
That's what we try to do. Now, and speaking about hassle, I mean, that's probably the biggest thing I'd add for folks is that 80% of the struggle is the loan. You know, if you pay cash, buying a house is the easiest, most wonderful thing that you've ever done. But the hassle comes in with, submitting documents and resubmitting documents and all the hassles that go along with getting a loan. And what I'd like to remind folks is that you're asking someone you don't know to loan you the other 90% of the $200,000. If you've got family members that wouldn't loan you $100 because you may not pay it back, remember that the lenders are loaning you lots of money. Just help them out, and realize that that's a big part of the struggle in buying a house.
That's right. And the real estate transaction has not just with the loan process, but there's a lot of paperwork that always is there. So, yeah, the simpler the better, but it also puts that buyer in a very strong position. So, boy, if you have that cash, let's get it out there and buy a house, right?
But most of us don't have cash. And then with interest rates being low, you sure, ought to buy and get a loan if you can.
That's right. Also, what lies ahead for Turbo Realty for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so we're doing expansion right now. We're growing, trying to put some new people with the company. So we're recruiting right now. So it's a big part of what we're trying to do.
Very nice. Let's tell people again the website, Chris.
TurboRealty.com. So turbo like go fast.
And it goes fast and also hassle-free. That is a great part, too. Now, you have some great agents, and one of the ones we want to talk about today, William Kennerly, right? William does a great job. Let's say a word about William.
Yeah, so William runs everything in the office. So he ops, does all of the management, does all the recruiting and training. So he's a huge part of what we do at Turbo Realty. So William's been with us for over a year now, and we're doing a big expansion, and he's a huge part of that.
There's no doubt about it. People can reach out to William. I even know his phone number. It is 713-909-4830. 713-909-4830. William Kennerly at Turbo Realty, along with Chris Schilling. Thank you so much, Chris, for being on the show. And now, back up on the roof, let's take a peek what's going on. He is Scott Alexander. Scott, welcome back.
Nice to be back, Bill.
No doubt about it. What else should people know about Bronze Roofing?
The most important, I think, thing someone needs to know about Bronze Roofing is that we are a full-service roofing company. We service anything from new roofs to new construction roofs, and also commercial roofs. It's very important that you do quality maintenance, general maintenance to your roof. You can get quite a bit more life expectancy out of your roof if you have us come out about every 5 years and just make sure everything on the roof is properly sealed.
And I think, too, when people buy a home that has had a roof on, say, within, we'll call it a new roof, say, if it's under a year, let's say, right? So if they buy a home with that, that's kind of like getting peace of mind, and then they could work on the other things on the house. I just like having a new roof.
Absolutely. A new roof could do a lot of things for you. It can, first of all, give you the peace of mind, make you sleep comfortably at night, that the inside of your house and all the interior items that you have are going to be taken care of. It can also add curb appeal to your house. People, when they come to your house, can notice that you got a new roof. Another thing to keep in mind is if you can keep your roof nice and clean, keep all the debris off of it, the water can drain off of it properly, you'll have a less chance of having any leaks. All that type of information, Bill, is stuff that we go over with our customers when we sell them a new roof.
And I like, too, when the new roof is on there, you see the distinction between, as the shingles are different, you have the darker and lighter ones. That really makes the home, as you're saying, again, that curb appeal really stands out.
Yeah, it's an architectural shingle. We use all manufacturers, GAF, Certainty, Tamco, Owens Corning. Typically, I like to use a GAF. And what you're talking about is a shadow accented shingle. It's an architectural dimensional shingle that's usually in your 30 or 50-year roofs.
Very nice. Well, Scott, people should know about Bronze Roofing, and realtors should know about them. Let's tell them how they can reach out to you.
You can reach out to Bronze Roofing. Our website is bronzeroofing.com. Our phone number is 281-480-9900.
One more time on the phone number.
281-480-9900.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Bronze Roofing, Scott Alexander, and the great Skeeter Braun. You have been listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title, and I know you think the show is ending, and it is at the time of broadcast, but it never really ends because it is just like Netflix, but different. We are on demand. You can hear us 24/7. That's right. Go to Stewart.com/Houston. Again, Stewart.com/Houston. I'll say it one more time. That makes 3. Stewart.com/Houston. Or if you want to see the guests, you can go to my YouTube channel, and that is Bill Napick with a K. Radio shows. That's the YouTube channel. You can see the guests all the time. It's great. It's just like TV, and we thank you so much. And if you have closed at Stuart Title, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for closing at Stuart Title. If you haven't, just check us out at any of our locations. Go to Stewart.com to find the closest one to you. Or if you want to come over and see me at the City Center, Memorial City Center, we would love to have you. Again, Stewart.com, or if you want to see the show archive, Stewart.com/Houston. And until next week, you have been listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title, your host, Bill Napick. So glad you joined us. And go to Stewart.com/Houston. Also, get some insurance over there at Stewart.com. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management, they'll be there to serve you. And we'd be honored to be stewards of your real estate transaction. Until next week, we'll see you then.